Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. This is another art tea video, as the other one did really well, but it's a little different. I have my jacket on today. I'm going out to do the art tea. I am going to sit in a park and do the illustration for the art tea. The topic for this week, as requested by one of my email list members, is finding your styles. I'm going to talk about that on the voiceover. I have tea. I'm going to put my straw in the top of this cup because I don't have a to-go cup for iced drinks, but it's the Lipton's Peach Iced Tea, as you saw the cold brew one, and I'm just going to get ready and I'm going to go. So enjoy the voiceover, enjoy the topic, enjoy my art. As always, you're welcome to mute my voice and just watch the art and put your own music on in the background. Anyway, let's go have some fun. Okay guys, so if you think you came to this video and I'm going to give you a quick way to find your style, you're wrong, because like, I kid you not, you already have a style. Everyone, when they start drawing, has a style, because you don't stylize things in the same way as the other person, so you have a style already. And I think that needs to be mentioned more in these kind of videos, is that you have a style and it's cool. Like, look at your style, look at what you do, and analyze that. But if you're not happy with your style, it's a completely different thing, you know? And this is what this video is for, is the people that are not 100% happy with their style and want to change it. So, what is a style? Now, people define style very differently. If you ask each artist, they define it differently, but the way that I personally define style is it's not just the way that you draw, it's a lot of other components. It's the way that you colour, it's the way that you do line art, or in my case you choose not to. It's your subject matter, it's your composition, it's the overall vision you have for your art, and that is your style. So it's very hard to tell one person how to find their style, because it works completely different for everyone. And also, I think people forget to mention it's so okay to have more than one style. Like, that's so cool. I personally don't, because that's too much brain power for me. But if you have more than one style, that is awesome, and like, all for you, you know? So, how to compile your own style? Wow, that rhymed. If you're thinking that your style isn't good enough, if you feel that you're not 100% happy with your style, you might want to compile your own. And so let's do a little run back to about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I had a complete style crisis. I had an art crisis, really. Everything about my art I hated. And I wasn't posting on YouTube at this point, and I wasn't really posting on Instagram that much, just occasionally, you know. I was still in school. This was before I dropped out, or just a little bit after I dropped out. And I had a style crisis, and I just hated everything, and I tried out basically a new style every time I drew, and that is awesome, and that really helped me get to where I am. But one of the big things for me that I used when I had this style crisis was the style list. And that sounds really weird. You're like, what the fuck is a style list? I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to give it to you right now. So if you're having a style crisis, if you're having an art crisis, and one of the things that you hate is about your style, you can look at this list and you can take a lot of time to evaluate this. So I'm gonna do the list. We're gonna have fun with this list. So my style list is how you draw, is the first point. So how you physically draw things. So, like, for example, the illustration I'm working on here is how I draw is my style choices of how I choose to stylize things, if you get what I mean. Another important thing. Wow, I've got a list in front of me and I cannot remember what I was going to say. Your line art, or lack of. There's lots of different ways. People think that line art is just lining your work, and it's not. There are lots of different ways of doing line art. You can look at loads of other artists that do line art and see that they're very different. The same with people that don't do line art. Their art is very different. Subject matter is an important one to think about. What kind of thing do you enjoy drawing? Is it fantasy? Is it slice of life? Is it like smut? Is it like NSF? Like, what do you enjoy drawing? The way that you colour, or don't if you decide to do black and white images, but the way that you colour, the way that you do lighting, the way that you do shading is an important thing to think about. The vision that you have for your art and what you're trying to put out there is very important. Your audience is a weird thing to think about. Like, what audience are you aiming for? And I think that's quite important to think about. What kind of audience do you want to draw in? Maybe look at what other people with the audience you kind of want are doing and kind of look at that and evaluate that. Your composition, how you compile pieces. Do you do things like the illustration I'm working on in this video, where it's a bit more simple, there's no background, or do you do illustrations like my other illustrations that are full finished background illustrations? And that's basically my list. Wow. That is my list, and that is quite a lot of things to think about, and this might take you months with this list to just go through and think about it and work on different components at a time. One of my favourite things is that a style is a collage of the things you love. I really like that quote. I think that's really beautiful. And one of the biggest ways that you can find that collage of the things you love is by looking at loads of artists that you love and finding out what you love about them. There's usually one or two things, and seeing if you can implement it into your work. Maybe you really like the lighting of one artist or the way one artist draw eyes, and you just collage it together, and that's how you find your style. So I'll leave you with that list. It's going to be fun. I'll leave you with that list, and take your time. You don't have to figure out your style overnight. You can take as long as you need or as little as you need, because it's your own journey, and you'll be happy with it when you're happy with it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next week for a studio vlog, hopefully. I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a good weekend. I will let you enjoy the little bit left of this illustration. I will see you next week.